Thanks for having me, Marlowe. It's a real treat to hear a band play real instruments tonight. You know, down on the Gulf, if the headliners pack up and drive home, you don't just stand on the empty stage and call it a concert. But in D.C., I guess they call it a rally. They planned the Freedom 250 down in Washington, D.C., a great American state fair for the whole country to see. But the talent roster started shrinking. Martina McBride said no, and one by one the musicians walked right out of the show. So the man in the red hat looked at a schedule falling flat and swapped the whole music festival for a rally in a hat. Well, you can rent the bleachers and you can buy the lights. You can build a stage that stretches out into the Washington nights, but you can't buy the music when the singers know the score. And you can't hide the silence when they walk right out the door. Yeah, call it a rally, put a flag on the stand, but it's just a lonely party when you can't buy the band. Now my folks back home work all week just to buy a seat to hear a song that sounds like what they're living on the street. A real show is a conversation, a room that beats as one, not a manufactured echo chamber when the actual talent's gone. You're hawking water from a poison well and calling it a prize, but the folks holding the guitars finally saw through the disguise. There's a difference between an audience and a rally. When a room full of people is listening to a real song, we're all breathing together. It's shared. A rally is just a room full of people waiting to be told who to blame, standing at the center of all that expensive scaffolding, looking out at a uniform crowd. You can't fake joy, and you can't force a melody, and deep down, you know the truth. To cover up the empty space where the music should have been. The rhinestones are all missing and the melody is gone. Just a billionaire in makeup standing out there on the lawn. But the silence of the singers is the thing that takes the toll. 'Cause you can buy the whole fair, but you can't buy the soul. Well, you can rent the bleachers and you can buy the lights. You can build a stage that stretches out into the Washington nights, but you can't buy the music when the singers know the score. And you can't hide the silence when they walk right out the door. Yeah, call it a rally, put a flag on the stand, but it's just a lonely party. You can keep the empty stages, we'll keep the honest chords. Thanks for letting me crash musically yours. Take us home, Marlowe. The floor